training camp underway in less than a week. When you look at it, what do you think is real? How do you determine this can translate, or this is just a bunch of stuff early on in August?
When I look at the things that I'm banking on going into the season, one is you have to play solid defense. You have to put a lid on it, and you got to hold teams to under 20 points. So I'm relying heavily on this defense going into the season. And there are some questions on the defensive side of the ball. Does Martin Emerson bounce back? And if he does, you feel really good about your corners. Is Ronnie Hickman going to take the safety job? It's apparent they want him to be the free safety. Now they signed 2 veterans to back him up. But at the end of the day, like, they want him to take that job. How does he perform in that? Like, that's different than coming in and being a spot player, playing here and there. Is the onus is going to be on you to be excellent, especially as much cover one as they play. You have a ton of responsibilities on the middle of the field. I am less worried about the defensive end because we don't know who's going to play opposite Miles. Is it going to be Alex Wright? Is it going to be Isaiah McGuire? I feel that their skill sets will match up and they'll probably see even enough snaps. I'm completely comfortable when whoever ends up getting the most or gets the starting nod. But the offensive side of the ball is just full of a litany of questions. We talked about DeJuan Jones earlier. Who's wide receiver 2? They want it to be Tillman, but just because they want it doesn't make it happen. Is he going to take that step this year? Is Deontay Johnson going to resurrect his career? If he does, you feel way better about this room. And then obviously is the quarterback question, and that's a show in itself, and it'll play out, and we'll have to live and die every practice with, sure, like there'll be charting passes from the media, and we'll have to deal with all that. But there's enough questions to go around. The real questions for me is, can this defense be elite? If this defense can be elite, this team has a chance.
Yeah, and I do expect the defense to be elite. If they're not elite, with what they've added and who's coming back, it will be another disappointing season if this defense is not elite. Before I let you go, when you're talking about the quarterbacks, what are some of the things that if the rookies are going well, you're going to hear? And what are some things that you would be concerned if you heard about Joe Flacco or Kenny Pickett?
Well, for the rookies, the first thing is you want to hear other players talk about him glowingly when unprompted. You don't want them to be responding to a question, but for them just to come out and say that, man, Gabriel is tearing it up today, or Shador took command in the huddle and led us right down the field. That's the kind of stuff you want to, because you're going to get coach speak. You're going to have all that kind of stuff happen, but are the other players believing in those rookies? Because if they don't, there's not a pathway for them early in the season. For the veterans, it's father time for Joe Flacco. And that's not even going to be apparent in training camp because everything's so spaced out. We really won't get to know that until we see him in games. And how does he hold up over the course of his game? Does his arm finish strong after 3-4 games? If that holds up, you feel good about who he is because of the table of work he already has behind him. And for Pickett's the wild card. I don't even know what to expect. He wasn't a player I expected them to pursue in the offseason, and they obviously believe there is a path for him or he wouldn't be here. But I don't think all 4 quarterbacks go into the season. I don't think they're carrying 4. And if I just look at it from the outside, my belief is Pickett will be the odd man out. I could be completely wrong, and I'll be happy to admit it if he proves to be a plus starter. But I just see a different path for him.